How are you lovely people doing in this chilly and cold month of February? Now moving into March. So I'm continuing the trend this year. I've still been on quite a big manga kick, it seems like. Um, I almost held off on this haul a couple more days because I actually have some more coming. But I think at this point, I don't know if I'll get them in time. And it's the weekend right now when I'm recording this, so it's just going to be easier to get this video recorded, and I can save whatever I get after this and put it in the March hole. So a decent variety this time. Again, mostly a mix of stuff um, online at Right Stuff, and then some used stuff that treated me pretty good. Treated me pretty good. So we'll go ahead and jump in and just talk about some of the stuff I got and where I got it and how the month was. Let's start going through it. So I picked up the newest volume of I Was Reincarnated as the Seventh Prince, so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. Do you know what's funny? I'm not joking. That is the first time I've ever read the title. I've just, called it Seventh Prince in my head. That is legitimately the first time, especially this entire small line here. I've never seen that before in my life. Never seen it. So, one of the things about this series is I love the art style. I love it. I just love the way it looks. Draws erotic characters really, really well. The very interesting thing about this story in particular is that it's drawn for a combination of audiences that I find really, really strange and peculiar. Maybe not that one. You might have seen it anyway, but let's see what I can find. You know what? Okay, maybe we won't risk it for the biscuit necessarily quite yet. Um, but the male protagonist character seems very much like he's more drawn for the ladies. Well, I say the ladies. He's drawn in a very feminine way, which is interesting in manga. It's not something you always see, but the ladies themselves are still drawn in a very sexualized, or is pervy the word I'm looking for? Yeah, yeah, I guess pervy maybe is the word I'm looking for. So I don't know. It's really interesting, the dichotomy of of the character designs. It's really, really interesting. But also, I just gotta say that really like the story. Is it groundbreaking? Not really, but the very interesting like magic system and magic world that they've built, and having your it is traditional in the way you have an extremely OP at the moment, at least, kind of protagonist. So that's kind of been one of the main things that's going on at the moment for sure. I don't know. I like it, and I'm very interested to keep going and keep reading it personally. Okay, Beastars Volume 22, the final volume. So we're finally here. I'm still a little odd on Beastars, where I loved it until the last few volumes. I've kind of gotten confused. I'm like, okay, so what's the point of the story again? Like, where are we going? Like, what is exactly the plan with Beastars at this point? And I can't say I it's lost it a bit for me, and especially the fact that I'm like, so this is the last volume, and reading up to volume 21, I'm kind of like, but how? I don't know how you wrap up the story uh in a satisfactory way with one more volume, because I feel like the book has built it up to be a lot more story left. So I'm interested. I don't know if the author just this is where she wanted to end it, or she was taught if she was kind of done with the story, or if she was more forced to wrap it up. I have no idea what any of that is on that one, but I'd be interested to know. But that is the last volume of Beastars. Interested to get into it. Chain Soldier, kind of a guilty pleasure series of mine at the moment. Another one of those fairly lewd, kind of ecchi kind of series going on with a decent story, and that's kind of always what I'm looking for, like something, and I will say it to the end of the earth. It's always the one I bring up. Something like Destiny Lovers. It's awful. Like, sure, it's got some of the best art I have maybe ever seen. Um, but it's like, god damn, it's the worst story I've ever read. So I mean, I can't read it. It's that bad that I have absolutely no interest in reading it. I was gonna show you some of like the looter side, but apparently in this volume, the looter side is essentially just nudity. So you won't be getting that. So I'm sorry. Finally found volumes 3 and 4 of Darling in the Franks. This is kind of, I really wish Seven Seas could make up their mind, because this is one of those books that's printed on that higher quality, heavier paper, and it is so, I can tell how nice it is, and I haven't even opened it yet. But like the other volume of Darling in the Franks I have is the shittier, kind of lighter paper. So I'm just like, man, I don't know if it's just like a printing priority thing where they're just using whatever printing they can find, and this printing happens to be of this higher quality paper stuff. But damn, do I wish that they would just switch over to this in general, because it is so much nicer. The books feel nicer, they're heavier, the paper's better. Everything about them is better. Everything. Um, Here's a couple of volumes I haven't read yet because I ordered these off Right Stuff in kind of one of their sale periods, and they didn't send me volume 1 yet. So they sent what they had. So Slow Life in Another World. Uh, in Another World, I wish. I mostly got this because I really like the art. And that's kind of what you're going off of a lot of the time when you're buying stuff online. But I thought the art looked great, so that's kind of what I went for. Continuing with some more of the etchy stuff, we have Call Girl in Another World. This is one I've seen it around forever. I never probably would have bought it unless I could have got it for a little bit cheaper. And so on the Right Stuff sale, I was like, you know what? I will do it. Essentially, this volume is what sold me. I was like, oh, there's Monster Girls in it. Damn, damn, someone, why didn't you tell me sooner? So I got 1, 2, and 4. So again, one of the volumes was missing from this order. Not a series I know if I'll get many of, but hey, they had it on sale, so got a decent few of them. Picked up this one, this volume of Monster Mizumi used for like $4 or $5. So rounding out the ones I'm missing. I kind of didn't even realize that Monster Mizumi was like on hiatus or something. Hopefully, I do hope it gets continued again, because it would kind of be a damn shame for that not to happen. So, but I'm filling out the volumes that I was missing. Here is another used volume I picked up. You can still see the sticker on it. This is one of those series that I don't think I'd never buy it new, because it's too much for a book like this, I feel like. No matter what you say, Forty-san is scary. And so it looks cute, but it looks kind of like a cheaper cute, if that makes any sense, than something like Nagatoro or Kokomi. You know what I mean? I don't know. So but I was like, awesome, that's actually a pretty easy pickup for me. So here we go. Creature Girls. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Why I picked this up. It's got Monster Girls on it. I think the reason why it's taking me so long to give this series in particular a try is because it's a really kind of shit volume 1 cover. Am I not wrong? Like, the art doesn't look great, but volumes 2 through 6, all the art looked great. So I ordered 1 through 6, and all they sent me so far was 1 and 6. So I haven't been able to get into these either yet, but we will see when I get the rest of them in the mail. And so another thing I want to do this year, and it's become an awkward thing. So as we all know, like, the manga industry is in a weird spot right now, with the rate of new series they're licensing, and series that they're currently printing going out of print. Like, the amount of series I'm in the middle of buying, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal to have to buy all of them. So let's say I have volumes 1 through 6, and right now volumes 7 through 13, 14 are out. Well, volumes, you know, 8, 10 and 11 are all out of print with no scheduled reprints. But there's still new volumes coming out. Volumes 16, 17, 18, and 19 come out this year. I'm like, well, it's so weird. And so I've been trying to like look at my look at the manga I have and go, which ones do I definitely want to finish? Like, which series do I have that I want to make sure I buy in case something happens? So I've changed my manga buying habits a little bit. And so that's why when I want to make sure, just in case anything ever happened to it, I didn't own all of Spice and Wolf yet. I owned that big collector's edition. I owned about half the series already, but I wanted to make sure I was like, okay, we've got to go through and get the rest of them. So I haven't had a chance to open these yet. I didn't open them yet because I'm not reading them right now. I've got so many things I'm currently reading, and I've read the story of Spice and Wolf before, so it's not as like crazy as a priority to me as much as I want to experience the manga in full someday. I've read the novels. I'm listening to the audiobooks right now while I'm at work, and so in my spare time, I'm not finding myself super like crazy need to go read the manga right now. But I wanted to make sure I had it. I love the series. The art style in the manga is absolutely gorgeous, just beautiful. Um, and so I was really happy. And I was really happy when I did this. And so I was like, you know what? I really want to do this more. Um, the months where I haven't bought as much manga, where I'm light on new stuff, I'm like going crazy and buying. That's a really cute volume cover. So cute. And so I was like, you know what? Okay, let's kind of make a plan here, figure out what we want to do. And I did this with well, you can basically see there's two other series I did this with in this haul alone. So it really did it work out like that for a lot of my haul this month. Um, Dan to Dan. This was an interesting one that I don't really know much about, and I flipped through it when I was in the store, looking at physical manga, and I went, "Oh, the plot is strange. It's not what I expected." Because what does it say again? It's like a paranormal one, but then all the ghosts and shit are horny aliens or whatever. I was like, oh, really not what I expected when looking at this series. Just looking at it, face value. So it'll be interesting. It seems um, like these Viz, shoujo manga end up just being popular because they're Viz and Shonen Jump. Did I say shoujo? My bad. Slip of the tongue. Um, but yeah, the Shonen Jump and like Viz releases always seem to be big series. So I was like, you know what? I'll grab volume one and give it a shot. Now here's a series where uh, this is one of my biggest problems. I remember reading this lovely series a very long time ago, and I read, I think up to like volume like 7 or 8. It's like that's really good. That's one of the best shojo beat manga I've ever read. Um, awesome. I don't read like a ton of shojo, but there are shojo where I really get invested and really like it. And so, long story with this one for me, I had this ordered through Right Stuff, and then they sent me an email. I didn't see it because my card changed, and I put my new card on the website. But apparently, that's not what you have to do. You actually have to email them and say you have to physically change my. Anyway, long story short, I had all these ordered, and they canceled them all, and I was like, oh damn. So it's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna order them all again. I was a little nervous that I had like missed the boat on the reprints, but apparently I didn't because almost all of them came, and then the rest of them just shipped. And so I have, as you could probably tell, I have 1 through 11, and there was volume 12, and I had 13, 14, 15, and 16. And so finally, I was able to round out the rest of the series. I now have it all. And this is going to be. I'm trying to figure out when I want to binge this because the problem is there's probably no way I can read this without restarting it. I'm in the same spot right now with Horimiya. Um, I remember loving Horimiya. I barely remember anything about it. That's the problem with reading this much manga. It's just like I'm like I don't fucking remember anything. It's been so long since I've read it. So, but like Horror Mia is something I think I want to jump back into before this one. Horror Mia is another one of those series where I went ahead and ordered all the volumes I was missing just to keep up, just to try and keep up a little bit. I obviously can't do this for every series. I don't have completed in my collection, so I'm now just kind of having to pick and choose. There are a lot of Seven Seas manga that have like really annoyingly like really um have weird like out of print stuff going on, and I don't know, I'm not super confident that that 17 is going to reprint all those. So I don't know where I stand with a lot of those ones, but anyway, that is up through 26 and then jumps to 30, but the other 3 volumes just shipped. So I will have those probably in next month's haul. Okay. Here's a used one I ordered online, and this is kind of the dangers you have with ordering one online. So far, looks not too bad, right? Nothing crazy, not super beat up. Spine looks pretty good, and then it's like, oh, oh, look at that. Oh, now the tragic part is, they shipped this horribly. Like they shipped it in one of those like soft baggy things, and so I don't know. The problem is now I don't know if this was like this when I ordered it or if this got damaged in shipping. But at the same time, you can't see it on the shelf and stuff. So actually, there's still a sticker on it as well. And so I'm not going to cry about it too much. I got it fairly cheap. So, you know, anyway, that's how it goes. Um, this is the series I was going to read instantly once I got it. I wanted to binge this whole thing, but I've been clearing out the stuff on my to read shelf first. So I've been plowing through Rent a Girlfriend because I was behind in a bunch of those. I read some of the stuff that was in this pile, like I said earlier, and I'm finishing right now Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches because I also, which actually I just realized, isn't where it's supposed to be. I have that on my desk where I was reading it. You know what? Go away, Love and Lies. Let's do this one first. I'm so happy to finally have this series completed. It's one of those ones where I'm very thankful that like Kodansha finished printing it because I can only imagine this used to be released in singles, and then they switched it to omnibus, which I'm assuming is just a sign that the series isn't selling well. It's always been my assumption. Maybe I'm totally wrong with that, but and then like the releases between volumes got really far. Like the series has been finished for a while, but the release between 25 and 26 and 27 28 was a long time, like a year. And so, and I also just am, I cannot appreciate them enough for doing the spines like this. They made them look like single volumes with like this line down the middle. It just looks like 2 volumes on the shelf. Uh, Chef's kiss. Thank you, Kodansha. I am so grateful for that. But I love Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. It holds a special little place in my heart for sure. And the story goes off the rails legitimately a couple times. Like legitimately, the story just goes, that wasn't a great idea. Um, you could definitely say that the story could have ended in a few different spots earlier than this, and they add too many characters and too much is going on at the end. But still, I love the core characters and want to see how the story ends. But back to Love and Lies. I have volumes 1 and 2, and for some reason, I was in the store one day and I saw what I'll show you in a second that the last volume has like an A and a B. And I was so fascinated by that. I was like, I have to read the whole thing now. I have to jump back in. I have to jump back in because it's so cool to me that that's what the author did for the final. Because essentially the whole story, if I remember right, is going to be like a love triangle. I don't know if there's more than two girls, but obviously with any harem or romance manga, one girl's gonna be chosen and the other girl's gonna not. And apparently, what this manga does has 2 volume 12s. It has, one girl's ending and the other girl's ending, and I think that's amazing. I think that is like the coolest thing because you could just, if you had a girl you absolutely preferred, bam, just buy that one, or bam, buy the other one, or if you just want to see how it would have ended with either one of the girls, hey, buy them both. And so I am fascinated, and I'm kind of hoping that maybe if this went over well, I have no idea, I really don't. I'm like, can we make this a trend? Like, imagine if Nisekoi had like alternate endings. Oh, chef's a kiss, or the quintessential quintuplets. Like have like an official, this is the official ending, but if it ended a different way, like make it very clear, like this is like the official ending, but here have alternate endings. I think that'd be fucking awesome. I think, oh my god, that would be so good. But anyway, I digress. I'm very passionate about that subject for some reason. And then we round off this month's manga haul with a haul of used books that they're a tiny bit beat up, but not too bad. But at the same time, I think I got these for like $5 a piece, which is pretty good. These were what, originally 13 now, so damn good actually. So Happiness, another just one of those. This author is, I don't know, man. They wildin'. They also they also fucking make a shit ton of manga. It's kind of crazy actually, but but they also make some weird shit. Like, damn, you okay? Are you doing all right? Apparently they are because they keep cranking out series. So these also have some beautiful covers, by the way, don't they? Like, my goodness. And then, but this author is so, like, it's them instantly. Like, you just like, oh yeah, I know who that is. Like, this is a really pretty cover, by the way. I really like this. I think that's super pretty. And then I'm pretty sure this here is the final volume. So that was a really nice way to. I had volume 1, 2, 3, so that rounds the rest of them out. But yes, I think that will do it for this month's manga haul. I don't know how many I had. I'll have to clickbait it and put it in the title. I don't really know how many volumes I had this month because I didn't count. But anyway, guys, thanks a whole bunch for watching. I hope you're all doing well, keeping safe, keeping warm out there, and doing your best because that's all you can do. But anyway, guys, I'm Fatal Ferret, and I'll see you back on the prowl next time. See ya.